Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Gore Clown Shop.
Do you love all things horror? Books? Movies? Podcasts? Of course you do. Well, come on down to goreclown.com.
Original artwork by an indie horror fan for indie horror fans.
Use code SLEEPOVER at checkout to save 15% on your whole purchase.
Oh, and did we mention? Gore Clown is the only place to get official Spoiler Sleepover merch.
So don't forget to use Sleepover to save 15%.
Stay indie, suckers!
Greetings, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends. Welcome to Spoiler Sleepover, part of the Nerdcast Network. Join your hosts, Jason, Michael, and Rob, as they bring you on a slash-tastic adventure through cinema. Now, enjoy the show. It will be a real scream of a time.
Traso, welcome, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends, back to this. I'm dying.
We're firing back in on all cylinders.
Yeah, I'm Rob.
I'm Jason Michael.
And I had another hospital visit. My throat's broken. We are back with episode 2 of Winter Horrorland. We really, really hope you enjoyed our revisit with our good friends over at Dead Body Bathtub, discussing Terrifier 3. And yeah, we recorded that a while ago. So
within the week, the movie came out in theaters, so obviously we've seen it way more times since then. Me personally, I watched it on Thanksgiving, and I'm on like 6 or 7 watches of it.
Jesus Christ.
It's a feel-good movie for the winter and holiday time, damn it.
It sure is. It's very fitting for this season and for this closing.
We talked about it. Some of the normal stuff. A lot of that $2 million budget went to making it look real Hallmarky, and they did tremendous with it.
They sure did.
Like,
yeah.
The bar scene feels warm visually. I love it. Anyway, we're not talking about Terrifier 3 again. Oh.
No, we are not. But before we get in and tell you what we're actually talking about, let's jump into a little what's been keeping you up at night. Jason Michael? What's been keeping you up at night?
Well, I've actually been finishing a lot of things and grinding some things. I've been hopping onto Black Ops 6 Zombies again finally, so I hadn't played that for about a month, and now finally getting back into it. It's really good to play. Getting the hang of it, and I like it better than Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. As for watching things, I finished Season 3 of From.
Nice.
And dear sweet Jesus Christ.
Oh, shit.
Oh, the finale goes random places out of nowhere and then just drops you off at the end. And it's like, cool, have fun until we come out with a 4th season.
Oh, those assholes.
Oh, yeah. No, it does a great job of answering your questions with more questions. Like, as soon as they figure something out, something else happens. And they found out a pretty big thing, and then something else happened. Like, there's some fucked up shit this season, and I think you're going to love it. So if you haven't watched From, first off, watch the entire show. It's a tremendous show. But this season, usually smaller shows like this, usually like their 3rd or 4th season is where they start to peter out, and it's like, oh, okay, all right. No, it's still great. It's still horrifying, and it still fucks with you.
Jesus.
Really bad. Like, the credits rolled on the finale and my jaw was on the floor for about a minute.
Oh, damn.
Because I was sitting there going, what do I do now?
I'm amped. Yeah, I've been season 1 I watched after it all came out. And then season 2 I was watching episode to episode. And then 3 I did it again. I just waited till it was all out. So obviously I'm doing the same thing this time just because I'm not paying for another platform for one show. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
I will say some of the episodes feel like they're like, okay, let's go move on. But they pay off. They all pay off in one way or another. And they make you want to watch the next one. Or the next one. Jesus. They make you want to watch the next episode. Words is hard.
Episode 1.
But that's what I've been watching and playing. So that's what's been keeping me up at night. Rob, what keeps you awake up at night?
Well, I finally saw Alien Romulus, and it was delish.
Okay.
I wish I could remember who had described it this way to me, but it was described to me as, hey, you remember when this happened in this one Alien movie? The movie. So it is, the entirety of the movie is basically just like callbacks and references to the previous movies, especially the ending, which is a callback to a more recent Alien movie. I don't want to spoil anything.
Predator Requiem.
God, no, we don't talk about that.
Shut your poor mouth.
It was good. I really wish I had seen it in theaters. I'm a little disappointed because it is such a grandiose film. It would have been a lot more fun to have a larger screen. I mean, I have a 75-inch TV, so, I mean, my screen's rather large. But, surround sound would have been awesome. But it was good. It is on Hulu, so if anyone's out there and has not seen it or wants to watch it again, it's on Hulu. Totally worth the watch, in my opinion, especially if you're an Alien nut and fan like myself. I love all of those movies. Stay tuned to hear me talk more about Alien at the end of this month. But yeah, so Alien Romulus was great. Tracker is back with a new season, so I've been watching that. It's a good show. If you like mindless dribble that's just about a guy finding people. I mean, that's the whole show. There's nothing. They're not reinventing the wheel with the show, but it's good.
John Tracker is Tracker.
Pretty much. It's good. I mean, I enjoy it. I like shows like that. So it's nice to like be able to kind of shut my brain off, but also be on the edge of my seat at the same time. So I've been enjoying that. And my fiance and I finally decided to sit down and watch Hysteria. And fuck, am I glad that we waited till it was all out, because this show is fucking nuts. So goddamn good. It's on Peacock. Totally worth the watch. The only reason I decided to watch it or wanted to watch it in the first place is because Bruce Campbell's in it. And nice. Bruce, this was right after Bruce had said, I'm never going to do a horror movie again. And here he is. He's doing a horror series. He was trying to separate himself from it. Yeah. But the show itself plays on so many different things. It takes place in 1989 during the peak time of the Satanic Panic. So that's the Hysteria. There's more shit going on behind all of this. I don't want to spoil anything, simply just because each episode something else gets revealed and you find out something new. And if I say anything aside from what I just told you, I'm going to spoil something, and I really don't want to do that. So just watch Hysteria. There's
work at S-Mart.
No. There is a moment. I'm not going to say what, but there is a moment where he says something groovy that is an Ash line, and it made me giggle. I was just like, huh. there's a little Ash line, but it's not like a major Ash line. It's something he says in Army of Darkness.
Klaatu,
and yeah, so
necktie.
No, not that either. No,
damn.
it's good. It's really good. I didn't really deep dive into whom else was on the show, and so each episode there's also a who's who in horror, and some of the actors that pop up are background, like they're on screen for 2 seconds, and you're like, was that? And you're like, no. Then I look it up and I'm like, holy fuck, it was. I will say Barbara Crampton makes an appearance, and as soon as she was on screen, I was like, oh, it's Barbara Crampton. I was like, this is fucking awesome. But yeah, no, it's good. Watch Hysteria. If you have Peacock, it's worth the watch. It's a lot of fun. I think we have 2 or 3 episodes left. I think it's only like 8 episodes. Each episode's an hour long. But it's worth the fucking watch, and it's hard to stop watching. So that's what's been keeping us up at night. Hit us up and let us know what's been keeping you up at night. Yep, words are hard. You were correct.
I warned you, child.
Yeah, you can hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, Tiki-Taki. All right. Jason Michael.
Yeah.
There is something that is hanging out of your left nostril and your right ear at the same time.
Definitely.
Can you just floss this real quick? Floss it. Floss it. Floss it. Yeah, look at that floss.
The things do for this fucking show.
What do you have as an earworm for us this week?
Okay, so it is a recently new album.
Mm-hmm.
I believe like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I feel like it just dropped out of nowhere. I didn't hear about it. I know recently we were talking about Childish Gambino and Tyler, the Creator, and you brought up some people that you're not too fond of. There is a new Kendrick Lamar album called GNX.
Okay.
Now, there's a few things I have to say. I listened to Pimp a Butterfly all the way through and Damn all the way through. That's it I've heard of Kendrick. The album is, he just raps. That's pretty much all he does. And it's like, it's good. It's like, I've caught myself just bobbing my head to most of the songs.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, a lot of the beats also feel very same on a lot of the songs. I don't know what he's doing, however, where it's like, you know how Kendrick normally sounds when he raps, and then he starts turning on like a southern like drawl, kind of like talking like this when I rap like this.
Yeah,
it's very Australian, but yeah, like the first song he goes into that for pretty much half the song, and I'm sitting here going, is this just what Kendrick sounds like now? And I just haven't listened to anything recent, but thankfully no. But GNX all around, I think it's a good album. It's like you could drive it, you could just like, okay, all right, good. And he's got some pretty good lines in there too, where it's like, oh shit, all right, cool. Drop the mic, walk away. Yeah, I've been listening to Kendrick. That's what I've been doing.
All right. Yeah, I mean, Good Kid, Mad City, or Mad City, Good Kid, whatever. His first like debut album, I absolutely adore that album. It's a fucking perfect album in my opinion. I don't know. It was right around Damn. Like Damn's an okay album, but he started to lose me just simply because he came into the scene with his own thing. Like he was doing his own sound. He was bringing back some old flow style from like the 80s and 90s, but like making it his own. And then he just leaned into mumble rap and all of this it's not even overproduced, underproduced MIDI track bullshit that's just not good. Lyrically, if you step away from his music and read what he's saying, because he's got a fucking voice and he's got a lot to say and he says a lot of, poignant things. I think lyrically he's an amazing lyricist and he is a spokesperson for a generation. Just musically, I don't know. He lost me a while ago, and it really bums me out because he is so talented that he just decided to, I guess, feed the machine in a way and follow suit with everybody else. And it really bummed me out, but I'll give this one a listen. I'll try. Maybe there's a saving grace in there. I'm not going to hold my breath. I'll probably give it 2 to 3 songs. And if it's not what I'm feeling, I'm dipping out, but
that's fair.
Yeah, I'm down to give it a go.
That's what I did with Metallica's newest album.
I don't listen to Metallica. They just don't.
They're not great. It all sounds like the shit they've done before.
Yeah. Well, they're old. The brain don't work no good no more. Nope. No.
I pass the earworm on to you. What have you been listening to?
So I rediscovered a band that I had completely forgotten about called Cult of Luna. They're a Switzerland. I don't know how to describe them. They are melodic doom death metal. It's really interesting because they kind of started to be seen and heard a little bit in like the early 2000s, like 2001, 2002. I discovered them right around that time. I don't remember exactly how. I grew up in Connecticut. Our public library in Manchester had a specific person who curated the music selection there. And so there was like some interesting stuff that you wouldn't think you'd find at a library. So I very well could have found it there. I don't really remember. Anyway, but I rediscovered them recently simply because they covered a song by the band Refused on Refused's album, The Shape of Punk to Come, hit an anniversary. And so there's a cover tribute album. Bunch of bands came in, each band covered a song. The only reason I found out about it was because Touche Amore covers a song, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I found the album and looked at the lineup, and I was like, holy shit, Cult of Luna, I forgot about these motherfuckers. And have been working my way. They have not stopped making music. They released an album last year in 2023. These guys have been going. So yeah, I've been listening to them a lot, and that has got me back into finding like it's like sparked in me trying to find more doom and death metal that I don't know. So I've been, discovering some new to me bands, and it's been good. But I've been listening to a lot of Cult of Luna. They're really, really good. So yeah, that's my earworm.
Sweet. For the week.
But yeah, let us know what squiggly little things are inside your ear holes, peeps. Let us know what you think of Kendrick's career. We're genuinely interested and would love to know. We've had a few people pop in and let us know what they feel about Tyler. Yeah, we want to talk music as well. We love music. All right, and to wrap this up,
Rob's got a little something called Creeping It Real.
Oh my god, that was fucking amazing.
Here to help.
I think we just found season 3's new Creeping It Real.
I'll get the Pro Tools out.
There we go. Perfect. All right. I'm going to keep it quick and simple. They just announced they are doing Talk to Me. They are doing a second Talk to Me. And that is literally a promotion, which good for them. It says Talk, the number 2, me. If they had advertised it any other way, I would have been pissed. This is perfect. But yeah, we're getting a second
Talk to Me 3.
But
they'll probably do that.
I think it's great. I really enjoyed Talk to Me. I think the second one is going to be good. I hope. A24 generally knocks it out of the park.
To fork to me? The 4 replaces the A? Where's the 5 going to go? Anyway.
Fork to me? What?
Fork me.
Fork me.
Fork you.
I mean, the sequel thing sometimes can be like beating a dead horse. Sometimes it works. I still haven't seen Smile 2, but I've heard nothing but good things.
I was gonna say.
I'm hoping that this is, because to be honest, Talk to Me gave me Smile vibes. Like they kind of they feel similar in a way, except, I mean, bold statement, I feel shock factor wise Talk to Me was more brutal, even though Smile is pretty fucking brutal.
Smile's also like, there are moments of genuine where you're sitting there being like, ooh, I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. But isn't Talk to Me, wasn't that made by like KSI or whatever his face is? Some YouTube creator?
It's an amazing question.
I think it was either that or he was like a producer, because it was like I think it might have been a Raka, just another YouTube creator. I think it was a very YouTube movie.
No, it was 2 brothers that did it. I mean, maybe they are YouTubers. I don't know.
Yeah, Raka.
There you go.
Danny Filippo and Michael Filippo.
Yeah, I know it was shopped around the markets in like the film festivals for a while before A24 bought it. That was how I heard about it, was that it was found at a film festival, and A24 was like, we want it, and they bought it.
Is it good?
Well, you haven't seen Talk to Me?
No.
It's very good. I really enjoy it.
Watching the trailer, A, it looked dumb personally, and B, it was like, just get rid of the hand.
So, without giving you anything or spoiling anything about the movie has 2 big things to be said. They're saying something about culture, like the culture of like younger teenagers, people finding themselves, all of that, addiction, that sort of thing. So it is really good, like really good. It's you're on the edge of your seat the whole time trying to figure things out. In its own way, it is a coming of age film as well. It's worth the watch. It's really fucking good. Don't hesitate anymore. Just watch it. It's streaming on, I believe, Paramount Plus. If you've got Paramount, watch it. If you haven't watched it, if you have watched it and you liked it, it's still on Paramount. Watch it again. It's a good flick.
Nice.
But yeah, that's Creeping It Real. Talk number 2 me. Poop? Was that a poop reference? Did I make a poop reference? I don't know, but we
both made the same face at the same time.
I made a poop reference.
I'm proud of you. Now, that has been what's been Creeping It Real. So, Rob, thank you for that. I'll look into Talk to Me. One. Anyway. But Rob picked this movie for our second episode of the Winter Spooky Holiday Horror Month. It's not really a movie. Instead, it is an episode of a show, but it's half of the episode because Rob will be working with us and talking with us about Within the Walls of Madness from Creepshow.
Season 2, Episode 4.
Thank you.
Part 2. It's the second short. So if you have seen Creepshow or haven't, if you have Shudder, watch the show, because this is the show Creepshow, not the movies.
I was going to say at the top of this that I thought when I was younger I saw some Creepshow. I think I confuse Creepshow and Tales from the Crypt because I've definitely seen more of Tales from the Crypt than I have of Creepshow. Creepshow I've seen maybe 3 things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was watching this. I was like, this kind of feels familiar, but no, I'm definitely thinking more of Tales from the Crypt.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, Creepshow's the movies are, well, the first movie's great. The second movie for its own existence is whatever. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's just middle of the road in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But it's great. The show is amazing because we got the same people coming back who did the movies. So Stephen King, Greg Nicotero, like it's awesome. It's awesome to see the same peeps come back to do this again in long form and have, bring the comic book styling of movies into episode to episode. So yeah, I really wanted to find a way to talk the show on our show, but didn't really know how to. There was no way in hell we were doing an entire season based off of a TV show. I mean, there's plenty of podcasts out there that do exactly that. There is a podcast based on the OC. That blows my mind every time yeah. Yeah. I mean, arguably decent show. I used to like the OC a lot back in the day. Watched it all.
Yeah, there's a demographic out there for it.
So this is Within the Walls of Madness, not to be confused with the amazing book and movie Within the Mouth of Madness, which this is kind of a
In the Mouth of Madness,
a big hat tip too. But the episode itself, or the half of episode, was directed by John Harrison. John Harrison, speaking of serialized horror shorts, he directed a bunch of episodes of Tales from the Dark Side. If you've never seen that, you should watch that. It's good stuff. And it was written by John Esposito. And if you do not know that name, either you are one of the lucky few or you're missing out. This dude has written a fuck ton of episodes of The Walking Dead.
I recognized it.
Yeah. He's been in horror for a while. The writing in this short shows too. So if you've seen The Walking Dead, it has that kind of feel about it.
Huh. You know what? It's all making sense now. And I'm one of those people in the camp that enjoyed The Walking Dead and was actually sad regardless of how far off the book it was. But so like far. When it ended, it was like, oh, all right, cool. But of course now there's 14 other spin-off shows. So it kind of feels like it took the whole wind out of the sails, but
yeah, no, it went, I mean, just within the first 6 episodes of season 1, the show was just like, hey, did you read the comics? Are you still reading the comics? Because they're still running right now.
Yep.
Forget about that, because every main character from the show is dead in the comics. Every single one of them. You're just like, oh, okay. I think I watched the first 2 or 3 seasons and then noped out. I was just like, I just can't anymore.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me. But we're not talking about The Walking Dead. Maybe at a future date we'll do that, but I highly doubt it. That would be misery for me. But we are going to be talking.
That's a different Stephen King property.
Sure isn't. So, with this nice cold winter season and our Winter Horrorland spoilers, this was just made sense to me to do this short, because I really do like this because of the heavy H.P. Lovecraft inspiration that this episode has. This short has.
Pretty thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
From the get-go, as soon as it's like, all right, guy in a prison cell. Antarctic base? Cool. The thing. Yeah. Don't need anything else.
So it's there's a guy in a cell being held and questioned, and it's been like 72 hours since something happened. And we're just, he's being kind of a hard ass about it, not really wanting to give anything away, but also realizing no matter what he says, no one's going to fucking believe him. And that's just the vibe he gives the whole time during the interviews. I mean, granted, there's only twice that he's interviewed through this short, but the whole entirety of this is we're fed very, very little at the start, but a group of people run in to this base. Something's going on. They're not entirely sure. We're not entirely sure what. There's a breach of some sort, and murder ensues, as we are led to believe.
The camera angles are quite, honestly, it was like hard to watch because it was a lot of flashing lights and like just cutting to random shit that was moving that you have no idea what it is. And then for a long time after it, it's just flashing on his face. Like the screen is going black to what you could see, black to what you could see. And it's like, cool. I don't know what I'm watching, but I feel like I'm blinking a lot.
Yeah. It's if you've seen In the Mouth of Madness, that movie.
Down in the darkness.
This is going to be the whole fucking episode, folks.
I'm surprised it's not you.
John Harrison really did his best to kind of within a story that is playing off of properties that have already existed and are out there, did his best to kind of give you the same vibe as other movies like John Carpenter's The Thing and In the Mouth of Madness. You get a lot of these vibes. The flashing lights is very Alien. It's got that feel about it as well.
No, I was trying not to continue singing Rob Zombie. Don't worry about it. Go on.
If I could sing right now, trust me, I would. So we're at an Arctic base. Some scientific research is going on. Something has broken out. We're not entirely sure what. There's a couple, and the guy is a big muscular meathead, decides that he needs to go figure out what's going on and also find the doctor or the professor, who we have no idea who the professor is. Mm-hmm. We just don't know. Not yet, at least.
Casually sauntering around the place.
Yep. Not a worry in those terrifying, bloodthirsty eyes of hers.
Mm. And they are thirsty.
Yep. Thirsty for sacrifices to our one and only Lord. I'll save it till the end. We don't say it yet, but we already know. I already mentioned who this is a hat tip to. So if you haven't seen it and you don't know HP, what are you doing? Listen to us. I'm just kidding. Please keep listening. It gets better, I promise. So dude bros off to find the professor, leaves behind his girlfriend and Zeller, the only name that I wrote down because it's the only name that is required. He's the guy who was held in the cell, Zeller in the cellar. You're welcome. I don't. That was stupid.
I'm leaving it in. You
Good.
can live with that.
I'm okay with it. Him and the girl all of a sudden notice something, and as you previously mentioned, there's a lot of flashing lights. We're not entirely sure what happens. He arms himself with an axe. We
saw it going south real quick at this point.
Yeah. In case you didn't know, most of these episodes are, I mean, they're the shorts are spoon fed for the most part. There's quite a few that you're not entirely sure where they're going. So it's worth the watch, but then we're not talking about the entirety of Creepshow, the series. So stop it. The dude bro and professor get back, and the girl's dead.
In little itty bitty pieces, and the dude is sitting there covered in blood.
Yeah. Still holding the axe.
Yeah, like, no matter what you do at this moment, pal, unfortunately, you're not going to be getting out of this one.
No. And so this leads us to understand why he's being held.
I mean, luckily there's a camera in that little square room. Was that an elevator? What was that room? Because there was like only one way in and no way out.
It was a, whatever they call it, clean room, not a clean room.
Decontamination chamber?
There we go. Yeah. So it's a decontamination chamber.
Oh, okay.
It has got the grates on it and everything like that. Mm. But yeah, so
room's going to need a scrub down.
Yeah. Professor fucks off to go find something and leaves Dude Bro with Zeller and literally tells him, like, don't fucking kill him. Like, I know this sucks, but don't do it. Mm-hmm. Because she wants to know what's going on, quote unquote, wants to know what's going on. Goes and watches the camera back because Zeller is claiming innocence and sees the camera. All we see as a viewer is the same flashing light from a camera, from a security camera point of view, and a tentacle for a quick second, which I was like, hey, look at that.
There's hentai.
I'm glad you said it. I thought it. You're like, oh no, this is going the wrong direction. Grabs remote, ready to stop it at any moment. Like, I gotta shut this off.
Somebody's gonna walk in.
Yeah.
They don't walk in during the gruesome bloody murder. They walk in during the tentacle porn.
Yeah. As you do.
Every time.
Every single time.
No, you didn't learn something new about your podcast host. Don't worry about
it. Yeah. So
we just make stupid jokes.
She definitely seems off once she sees what's on there. We don't get to see more than what we see. She clearly sees more than we do. Mm-hmm. And she deletes the fucking footage. And
smirk on her face.
Yeah. Douche Bro decides to that he's had enough is enough. He's gonna fucking kill Zeller. Professor shows back up. Douche Bro is not happy. Zeller defends himself by saying, "May I ask you a question?" Like, he doesn't say that. I'm sorry. I'm never not going to say that if there's an axe in anything that we watch or talk about. And he splits him like a watermelon.
I shouted, "Oh shit," at this because it was like, it was quick and it was like, oh fuck, all right, they actually showed it.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good just right to the forehead.
Yeah. They whatever they ended up using, whether that was CGI or practical, because there's so much, like, they digitally alter a lot for like mood lighting and atmospheric purposes in this one small room that it was kind of hard, but it was like the angle is so fucking close that it made me think of Friday the 13th Part 2
in the wheelchair and they go back down the stairs.
Yes. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. For some reason, I always imagine they're against a tree and it's just a reverse shot. And that's what made me, I wonder if it was a reverse shot and then they like digitally alter the wound because it opens.
Yeah.
It's fucking dope. But yeah, it's more practicals, people. More practical. There's some dope practical in hysteria. I'll tell you that much. Call back to the beginning of the episode.
I will say it's some odd comping later in this, but Zeller and the Doctor, they skedaddle up to go check out the cameras because Zeller's like, fuck you, bitch, I want to see it. And then finds out that the only thing he can see is him axing the security guy in the face. And then sees, the other file was deleted. It's like, what the fuck, Richard? So we then get a story about, like, with little comic book fades and everything of what happened and what the Doctor has found on a little expedition. Which, is that a comped or like a matte painting of a skeleton, or is that practical? It doesn't look practical.
It's hard to tell. It does look like a painting, and very well could be, but it could. My thought is that it's a digital painting. It's not CGI, but it was like they did a green screen and then they actually hand drew over it, because the whole carry through of Creepshow, the movies and the series, it's a comic book. That you get a lot of these moments in the movies and in the show where you get those old school style horror camp comic book freeze frames with the shock multicolor backgrounds and stuff like that.
We're going to be seeing that again too.
Yes, we are. We get the flashback to her, the professor, on an expedition finding this skeleton. It's giant, looks like it could be a dinosaur, but then she finds a cross between a face hugger and a stingray. Yeah. Just in the cave. And, per usual, when somebody finds strange skeletons, we all, if I'm correct, we all just breathe on them, correct? Like that's normal. Yeah.
You don't?
You blow on it because you're curious. What? No. But
she was trying to clear off some of the snow and the loose soil. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. And it turns out that the breath of people, of living creatures, that it opens a portal. We don't get to see what she sees, but she sees something. Take that back. We don't get to see what she sees yet. But she sees something that makes her go, oh, shit. Okay.
Uh-oh.
And then she busts that bad Larry out. We're back in the security room and does it again so that we can now see what lies beneath. The whole time Zeller's been freaking out that it comes from the walls. Also, we should preface that as well. It comes from the walls, man. It comes from the walls.
Where's it come from?
The walls.
Oh, okay.
They come from the walls. Not
Within?
it. They come from the walls.
Within them?
Within the walls of madness.
Oh. I don't get it.
Me neither. The professor does explain that what it is, it opens a gate that bends space and time. So if you know H.P. Lovecraft at all, and you still haven't figured out what is on the other side, you definitely know now.
A bunch of racism.
Wow.
Right? That's what H.P. Lovecraft was about? He was a racist?
He sure was.
Oh, okay, cool. Just checking. I didn't just besmirch his name.
No.
It's already been smirched.
Yeah, it's already been smirched. Smirched as fuck. All over the place. Oh my god. So the professor breathes on it. The thing floats, grows some tiny little baby tentacles, which are cute as hell. And at this time, the evac. So they've been waiting for an evac team to show up this entire time. They're there. They landed outside in the snow, have entered the facility, are on their way. Professor's clearly evil and has an evil plan. So Zeller does what Zeller is really, really good at. And he axes her another question.
There it is.
Directly to the neck, which is...
He says it, too. He's like, hey, excuse me, Doctor whatever the fuck. May I ask you a question? Exactly entirely what he says.
One of these days...
Who would have thought?
One of these days we're gonna stumble across something and that's actually gonna be in there.
Ignore it.
Yeah.
Just don't even say anything. I don't know what he used for a murder. I think it was like a machete or stick.
He said a line. What was that line that he said?
Yeah. Ice to see you, because it was a winter horror movie. Haha. Yeah.
Uses an ice pick to kill them. You picked the wrong day.
We're writing a movie here.
There we go. Just the worst one-liners. We're gonna worst one-liner up Jack Frost.
Oh, I don't know if that's possible.
Oh, we'll do it. Between the two of us, we'll groan the entire time we're doing it, but we'll make it happen.
Zeller slits her throat with an axe.
Yeah.
From the chop we just got to literally what it looks like is just fake blood on the outside of a sweater collar. It's like, oh, okay. But of course, as the timing would hold, here comes the evac team to just walk in and point guns, and he's like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is how he ends up incarcerated. And just quick fast forward, I mean, the detective isn't there to find the truth. She's there to gather as much intel as possible and find him guilty. She doesn't fucking give a shit. Book. Yeah, she does not care at all. And so Zeller is sentenced to death, and he is strapped to the table for lethal injection. He had one final wish.
No matter how strange it might be.
Yep.
Or unorthodox.
Yep. And one of the executioners walks off to the side. There is a cloth on the table, opens it up, and there is the sting hugger. I don't know what to call it. There's face ray. Ooh, I like that. That's got a good ring to it. Write it down. It'll be in our movie. So Zeller has asked to breathe on it, and he does. And the walls open, man. A portal opens. And hey, Jason Michael, who's on the other side? Who's on the other side of the portal?
Well, it ain't fucking Santa Claus.
Nope, it's our Lord and Savior, Cthulhu. That's Zoidberg, but okay.
Hang on, wait.
You can't. No one can see that other than me. There we go. So, yeah, it turns out that this thing opens a portal to the other side of existence, and we get to see Cthulhu.
It's got like the colors of the comic books, like it's got blue and red, and it's got like all the action lines and everything. It basically looks like an action's happening in a comic book.
Yeah,
it's like if it wasn't for Creepshow, it would be kind of cheesy, but it works really well. Like continuing the fact that it's a comic book.
And it's in everything Creepshow related.
Yeah, so, with some practical tentacles wrapping around everybody and everything. Yep.
So we get that amazingness, and everyone dies, and then I love the fact that that Cthulhu gives him his one last little hurrah by bringing the detective in to like hover over him, and he's just like, "I told you,
they're in the walls.
They're in the walls. They come from the walls." But then
a book falls.
Yeah, and then another portal opens, and this is when we get to see what the professor saw. The professor saw Zeller on the table. She saw the future and still let it happen because reasons. I'm led to believe that she knew that he was the one who would open the gate fully and bring everything into this world because it needed to happen, quote unquote, needed to happen, like every evil person says. So that's why she let it happen and let herself be axed in the neck. I mean, I don't know if she knew she was going to get axed in the neck, but she must have known something was up.
Axed a question. I was continuing the joke. You did this. Don't you sit there and mutter, you fucking started this. You opened the door. You let evil in. God damn it.
Yeah.
Came from the walls.
Like perfect Creepshow fashion. There's no resolution generally to any of the stories.
No one's happy. Everyone dies.
Literally. And that's the end of Within the Walls of Madness from Creepshow Season 2, Episode 4, Part 2. I'm saying Part 2 just because there's two shorts per episode, and it's the last one. It's the second one in that episode.
And funny callback to your What's Been Keeping Us Up at Night. Who's in that first episode? It's Barbara Crampton.
It is Barbara Crampton.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many who's throughout the series itself. I mean, the movies are exactly the same. It's who's who all the time.
I thought Zeller was the main character, Connor, from the video game Human, or Detroit Become Human. Basically, it's one of those make choices and it'll follow you for the rest of the game kind of thing. But it's
the choose your own adventure.
Yeah. But it's like a very detailed graphic PlayStation game, and Clancy Brown's in it too. So,
oh, nice.
He's pretty much being Clancy Brown. So Mr. Krabs just yelling at you like, "Fuck you, SpongeBob, me boy!"
Well, that was really good.
Thank you.
I'm impressed. Well, yeah. So nice, short, little bite-sized episode for you suckers out there. I guess we can try and rate this. I mean, you've not watched much of the series as a whole, but as a short, on a scale of 1 to 10 tentacle porns, how many tentacle porns would you give this one?
Can we change the rating system, please? I would like to call a mulligan on this rating system.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10s, may I ask you a question?
Thank you.
How many ask me the questions? Doth thine give this?
Stepping in. It's okay. I again, for not really watching many, I don't know what else to really base it on. So I would probably give it like a 6, maybe 6.5, because it's like, as soon as I saw it was like giving off Thing vibes, I'm like, sure, here for it, 100%, cool, take my money. So that's pretty much what it was for me. It was like, it felt like a mini Thing, and then Cthulhu was involved.
Yeah.
So all for it on that. But yeah, how about you? What axing, question, pun, bad jokes that are going to get beaten into the ground like a dead horse over and over?
100% agree. 6.
All right.
It gets a 6 for me too. Yeah, it's not the weakest of the shorts in the series. There are a few that are like, ugh. And then there's one in particular that is my all-time favorite. I absolutely love. I'll send you the episode at some point because it's fucking great. But yeah, no, it's a 6. It's Cthulhu related. I love anything, H.P. Lovecraft related minus racism. So yeah, it's a fun watch. It's a good winter watch. It's a good, callback and like hat tip to a lot of horror from the past. As a whole, I think it's good. There's definitely, I feel like it could work and probably would work better as a full-length film because there's more to be told. And so it feels very loopholey where there's a lot missing.
Okay.
And they only had an allotted amount of minutes to tell the story. So they had to tell it within that amount of time. So cutting out bits and pieces makes it feel very clip showy. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, a 6. I think it was great for what it was. And it's winter themed, so it's perfect for our winter horror land. And I guess I'll just throw out our bloody legend. Make it super simple and easy. Just give it out to
the axe.
The axe.
I mean, literally bloody. The thing is soaked in blood. So hey,
done. Fuck what I was gonna say. I don't even give a shit anymore. That was perfect. It's the axe. The axe is our bloody legend of the week. That's fantastic.
Woo! First the axe did more work. To get it.
The axe did more work in that episode than anyone else did.
Who are you gonna give it to?
That's fantastic. I was just gonna give it to all of the creatives that have had a hand in all of Creepshow ever. Stephen King, Greg Nicotero.
All their credit just ripped out for a fucking prop.
Fuck it. It's way better. It works so well. Jesus.
The can was angry. Where's my bloody legend?
They come from the wheel. They come from the wheels. They come from the walls.
Oh my God.
We're doing great. All right. And per usual, we always end every episode with thanks. This is the last month we have of the podcast before season 3 comes in a few months. But we have a big episode coming to close out season 2. So we just want to send a thank you out to all of you suckers. Thank you so much for coming along with us and growing with us on this ride so far. We're going to thank you all month because the most important thing is that we're doing this for you. We've been listening and we're trying to change up the format to feed into what you guys prefer to listen to, what you guys like more in the episodes. We really want, again, I feel like I haven't actually said this in a long time. This is your podcast. We're doing this because we love talking horror. We love hanging out with each other and we make each other laugh. That's why we do this. If we weren't recording it, Jason, Michael, and I would be spoiling movies for each other via text message or on the phone anyway.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, this podcast it's yours. Say what you want. Let us know what you want to hear more of, less of, and you've done that. And so season 3, we've got a bit of a new format for you. You're getting a taste of that now. We're doing something different, not fully deep diving in. The episodes are going to be closer to spews, which makes me wonder, what do we do with spew? But we'll figure that out. What do we do with spew? It sounds like a book or like a dark comedy or something.
Spew.
So
we're not making this title any more palatable.
No. Our thank you for this month,
real quick,
forever, is to you suckers. We appreciate every single one of you, all of our ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends. Thank you so much for making Spoiler Sleepover what it is and continuing to help us grow and reform. So until next week, sleep tight, suckers.
They're in the walls. They're in the walls,
my balls.
Suckers. Oh no.
Oh.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Spoiler Sleepover. But the fun doesn't stop there. Go follow us over on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And of course, check out our sponsor, Gore Cloud, and use code SLEEPOVER for 15% off any Spoiler Sleepover merch. So until next time, sleep tight, suckers!
Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Gore Clown Shop.
Do you love all things horror? Books? Movies? Podcasts? Of course you do. Well, come on down to goreclown.com.
Original artwork by an indie horror fan for indie horror fans.
Use code SLEEPOVER at checkout to save 15% on your whole purchase.
Oh, and did we mention? Gore Clown is the only place to get official Spoiler Sleepover merch.
So don't forget to use Sleepover to save 15%.
Stay indie, suckers!